Good morning, everybody. This is Joshua Knope again with Bar JK Land and Cattle Company. Anyway, I was just going to come to you guys this morning and kind of give you guys a little bit of an overview, because last night I kind of got to thinking, you know what, everybody that I have as friends on Facebook, probably not everyone understands all the segments of the beef industry or understands exactly kind of how all those segments fit together. So I'm just going to kind of give a brief description of the beef industry, or the cattle industry really, and then we'll kind of get into a little bit about the beef industry, because they're really two different industries. We as cattlemen, we need the beef industry, but and the beef industry needs cattlemen in order to get cattle. So let's start off. I'm a cow-calf producer. So what that means is I own cows and I have a herd of cattle that I maintain year-round, and I have bulls and cows, and then I have a calf crop every year. Now those calves, the baby cattle, basically, I take them and they're born on my place, and we take them all the way until weaning in the fall, and while they're with me, they stay with their mothers the whole time, and they grow as big as they can until that weaning point in the fall. I pull them off of their mothers, I wean those calves, I put them on a 45-day program usually. I give them 2 rounds of shots. In the spring we always brand, and we'll give them a round of shots then, vaccinations to keep them healthy, and then we give them a round of vaccinations at weaning time to keep them healthy through weaning time. That adds just a little bit of value to those calves whenever they go to the sale, because somebody else doesn't have to worry about any kind of sickness or anything else that's going to happen to those those calves right after you pull them off of their mother. So that goes right into the next segment of the beef or the cattle industry. At that point, they go to the sale barn, and then at the sale barn, a stocker grower purchases those calves, and they purchase them at 300 to 400 to 500 pounds, somewhere in that neighborhood. And what they'll do is they'll take them in and put them on wheat pasture. And those calves will gain on wheat pasture over the winter time, and they'll usually gain all the way up until March, April, or May, depending on when that person has to pull them off of the wheat, if they're going to go to grain or if they're going to just graze out that wheat. And then at that point, those calves will be sold again at the sale barn. And what that stocker operator did, so he took the base product, my calves, he purchased them, he added value to those calves and added weight to them calves, and got them ready to go into either growing yard or the feed lot, and then he turns around and he sells them, and sells them to either a feed lot or a growing yard. If they need a little bit more extra weight, they'll go into a growing yard, which is basically a feed yard. It just gives them a little bit more time before they go into the full-fledged feed yard, like hitches or supreme feeders or cactus feeders, somebody like that. The feedlot will then purchase the cattle, and what they will do is they will put the extra weight and they will finish those calves out on grain and get them ready to go to the slaughterhouse or to the packing plant. Once those cattle are up to weight, 1,200 to 1,400 pounds, at that point, that is when they go into the beef industry. At that point, the feedlot either has them on a negotiated cash sale, which is like an auction, and it goes into or formula, either one, and it goes into the packing plant. At that point, the packer purchases that animal, and they will then slaughter the animal and package it, and then send it off to retail locations. And then once the retail gets it, then it goes to you as the consumer. Now there's another segment of the beef industry that I didn't cover, but they are the seed stock. They have a cow herd, mostly registered animals, or all registered animals for the most part. And they raise, whether it be replacement heifers or they focus or raise bulls. And that's where I purchased my bull from, was a seed stock operator. And what they do is they focus on genetics, and they focus on some of them focus a little more on the end product of the beef, and they get the genetics out there to make our herd improvement so that we can bring you guys the best quality animals that are out there and get a good finished end product. But I just wanted to kind of cover that just in case somebody doesn't know. It's a beautiful day in western Oklahoma. Looks like our highs are going to be in the 70s, a little bit better than yesterday. We hit 100 yesterday. But anyway, y'all have a great day. Thank you for listening, and